Gianmarco, you are in Buffalo on the 25th, 26th, 27th of September. What can people expect from the show?
Oh gosh, I talk about um a lot of stuff about AI and technology and the creeping capitalistic nightmare that is decreasing life in America. I like to kind of connect the chaos of the world to the chaos of my own family. My
Hmm.
father, a woman who matched with my dad on a dating app, reaching out to me, saying she liked my stand-up, but not my dad so much. I talk about the consequences of a fucked up family and the way that I uh, synthesize that with my current relationship, my desire to have kids, but my fears of having kids, my and there's definitely going to be some new topical political stuff that I couldn't possibly predict until 2 days before. Who knows what'll happen by then? But I like to bounce around. We'll always do a little bit of crowd work, but I got a lot to talk about. The world is on fire, and I'm going to try to distract from the burn for an hour or so.
And now you've got a new comedy special debuting today on YouTube.
I
How do you feel
do.
about that?
I good. I it was tricky where some of the jokes, uh how would I put this? The checker on YouTube that is concerned for offensive things or just problematic things. There was some trouble. There was some trouble in the beginning when we first uploaded it, and I freaked out. I said, "Oh my God, we've made a huge mistake." But I feel really good because we did resolve it. We took out two very particular curse words, and during a certain section, during the whole thing, I think underneath there is a the number for the suicide hotline in case my punchlines are so upsetting that it leads you there. But I feel good. I feel good. It's going to play. There hopefully won't be any issues, and I'm excited for people to finally see it.
Awesome. And you mentioned about, you said the world's on fire and I guess I'm very familiar with you because you are on my timeline all the time and
Good, good.
always commenting on current event, but everything like you said, like and in your stand-up, comparing what's going on to family things. And I guess how do you balance the funny with the serious in comedy?
In my mind, like there's a pretty firm line between like all my social media activity and my stand up. Like, if you're going to see me do stand up live, that's where I really prioritize, like, this has got to be funny. I'm not here to preach. People
Mhm.
did not buy tickets to stand up preaching. They came up for stand up comedy. Now, my Twitter, which nobody I make no money off of, so I have less of a, oh, I need to just entertain.
Mhm.
So on Twitter you can really get my annoying woke takes on everything going on in the world. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes you have a twist, sometimes you just want to quote tweet someone saying shut the fuck up, and there's no joke, and that's just more for me. So sometimes there is humor to be mined. Sometimes I'm just a little preachy or angry, and the hope is that people can engage with my existence the way that suits them. So for some people, I'm like, hey, you just want jokes? Follow me on TikTok. If you wanna hear me rant and rave, Twitter's probably the place. And Instagram, you get a little bit of both.
Mhm. I guess in building your comedy, who is an inspiration to you? Who do you look to? Um, I mean, again, a lot of it is very, it's very personal, but I guess in terms of style, who do you look to, if anyone?
Oh. I mean, I feel like Jesselnick gave me a real sense of like how hard a punchline needs to hit. I
Mhm.
really think I learned from watching his work just being like, oh, if you set the bar high and you say, listen, every punchline's got to meet this,
Mhm.
you can't fail. You can't fail. You just write an act that's so strong. that it goes through. And then I think, before Just Nick, I was and still am a Mulaney fan. And I
Mhm.
think when it comes to joke writing and density, and Mulaney just punch after punch after punch, and Jeselnik, the dark edge, and showing that, like, if the funny, if you write something funny enough, it can supersede the tragedy of it, and then it feels even extra special because you made people laugh at a thing that they would never thought they could laugh at before. And then more contemporary ones, I think Chris Fleming I talk about a lot because he's so incredibly physical on stage and builds a world with his body and, just a chair. And I just aspire to do a tenth of the movement that he does. Um, and yeah, I would say those are three that kind of, I think, inform my work right now.
And now I noticed you spoke about Justin like your manager Leo uh receiving those emails I saw it was like sharkpartymedia.com. Does that come from Jeselnik?
Oh, I believe so. So that's my PR team,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure Shark Party does come from Justin. Like I almost forgot that until you reminded me,
Yeah,
but
because I
I'm
saw it
pretty
and
sure
immediately I was like, I've only heard one other person use the phrase shark party and it's him. So I
it
was
it
like, I
must
wonder if
be.
there's a
It
connection.
must be. Yeah, and I was very fortunate. I got to work with Jeselnik on a Paramount Plus Comedy Central pilot, and he's very nice. But I still think that show. I wish it had stuck around even longer because it was so just dark in a way that you don't really see on TV, and it
Mhm.
felt fresh and new, and it's just one of my favorites of all time.
Awesome. And I asked you about social media earlier, and I feel like, you talk about you get political on there, but I also think you do a great job marketing yourself. How do you leverage that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just a loudmouth. I think, thank God I got into stand-up comedy because I think the older I get, the more emboldened or just necessary it felt like I just say a thing and express an opinion. And I can't even imagine if I had succeeded in musical theater, what would have happened. It would have been much more difficult.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, I just go, and this might be a shortcoming of my own, or a lack of talent, where I can't censor myself that much and produce good work.
Mhm.
So it doesn't feel like a choice per se, as much as, like, look, if I'm going to be entertaining, the only way I know how to do it is from a lot of my own opinions. And if that's turned off certain people or certain groups of people, uh, it's like, well, that was my only option. So I don't particularly concern myself with it because I don't think there was a different path forward.
Mhm.
The nice part, as people lose their jobs for whatever they say comedically, I always say you can't get fired if you don't have a job. So I'm if anyone writes me saying I want to speak to your boss, I go, you're looking right at him, buddy. I'll don't worry, I'll punish myself tonight. I if anything, it makes me feel, I want to use the fact that am not I don't have a TV show. I don't really have much to lose that I'm not in control of. And
Mhm.
so when I see kind of censorship being rained down by the government, it only encourages me to, like, really use the freedom that I have to its fullest extent. There is certainly moments where I go, ooh, this particular joke is Laura Loomer going to quote tweet it, and I'll get death threats, and I'll have to cancel gigs. Sure, that's there. I am a human being in the world, and there's some nerves, but I think I'm still small enough that I can speak my mind pretty freely. And someday I'll find out that's not the case. And I'll deal with it when it comes, but I can't do what I do well if I'm operating under extreme fear, just
Mhm.
a healthy fear.
Those are all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you would like the people of Buffalo to know? ahead of your shows next week.
No, I'm excited. I know it's corny, but I'm gonna get wings while I'm there. You just got to do it. You got to do the touristy things, and I'm excited to be there. I've never been there for multiple days, and I'm thankful to not be there in January, February. So I'm happy to be there where I only have to wear one coat when I go outside.
Well, Gianmarco, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.